There's an alternative to this build where people are going with Tavern Brawler and using thrown weapons and spicing in Berserker subclasses to get really strong thrown weapons.
You want to get to level 6 Eldritch Knight, and then you probably want to start going levels of Wizard. And once you hit, level 1 of Wizard, you can be able to use scrolls to memorize spells. You can learn Blur, you can learn Scorching Rays, and then a couple more levels of Wizard. You'll be able to learn like Fireball, you'll be able to learn like Lightning Bolt, stuff like that from scrolls. Make sure you do that so that you can use those spells earlier on in the game. You're going to be relying, mostly on like Burning Hands and... Okay.
Embrace the magic.
Greetings, wizards. So I decided to make this video for a couple of reasons. Last week I finished BG3 in Honor Mode with a friend using a very fun Eldritch Knight build. One that can be the master of melee, of throwing, and as well as crowd control. And yes, I was appalled that the two most popular Eldritch Knight videos recommend wizard levels and sacrifice 3 attack. So let's talk about build components. And to start off, you obviously need high strength and high intelligence, so you can land your weapon attacks and your DC spells. Arcane acuity items and DC items are a must. Arcane acuity means the more weapon attacks you have, the easier it is to land your spells. Great Weapon Mastery allows you to do more damage with your two-handed melee attacks, as well as a bonus action attack when you kill something. Tavern Brawler gives you more damage on your thrown weapon attacks. Eldritch Strike forces the enemy to roll with disadvantage on their next saving throw after you hit them. Awakened lets you use illicit powers as a bonus action. And Band of the Mystic Scoundrel, which you can get very early in Act 3, just go to the circus, allows you to use enchantment and illusion spells as bonus actions. Finally, prioritize enchantment and illusion spells when choosing at every level up, like Blur or Hold Person, so that you can use as a bonus action whenever you hit things. So here's the example of how I would build this type of Eldritch Knight. Start with strength 17, so you can round it up with Tavern Brawler at level 4. Not really going to use cantrips for damage, so I recommend something like Blade Ward, because at level 7 you can use Blade Ward and then also attack as a bonus action. And as for spells, I recommend Shield, obviously, and something like Protection from Evil. For expanded spells, you can grab Find Familiar, but you can also start grabbing Illusion or Enchantment spells for later on when you have the Mystic Scoundrel Ring. It allows you to use them as bonus action. Level 4, you can grab Tavern Brawler to round your strength to 18, as well as giving you more damage when you throw weapons. And remember, with Pact Weapon, as an Eldritch Knight, you get your thrown weapon back. As for level 6, I recommend Great Weapon Mastery, because this will give you not only more damage when you can use it, but also an extra use for bonus action attacks when you kill an enemy, which is going to be pretty easy. At level 8, you get an ability improvement. I would choose Strength probably over Intelligence, because your strat is still going to be killing things fast and doing as much damage as possible, and you want to land your weapon attacks for Great Weapon Mastery. After you get access to second level spells, make sure you're choosing spells like Mirror Image, Blur, Hold Person, any that are either enchantment or illusion. The last level I would say is optional. You can go something like War Domain Cleric to get an extra spell slot and bonus action weapon attacks, or just go straight Pure Fighter and get another ability score improvement, which you can put in your intelligence this time. As for gear, I would recommend both the helmet and the gloves that give you 2 arcane acuity each time you hit something. So very useful. You have a lot of attacks, a lot of DC. Band of the Mystic Scoundrel, of course, to get bonus actions with your spells. And as for weapons, just choose a really good two-handed weapon that you can Grand Weapon Master with. But you also need a throwing weapon like Nirulna, which comes back to your hand, and you can even Great Weapon Master with that as well. So if you have an ability like Cleave, you can hit 3 targets with 1 attack. this is great because now you have 6 stacks of arcane acuity with a lot of attacks to go. And this just makes it... oh yeah, and you've also stricken with Eldritch Inertia the targets right in front of you, which means they have disadvantage on their next save. So here you have lots of bonus action options because you've already had an attack that you can use any illusion or enchantment spell. Here I'm checking if the hold person is worth it. As you can see, it's almost 100% success against the fist right in front of me. But I'm gonna try the dominate person from my cloak instead, and I want to get this caster out of the way. So I'm gonna use that on him or her. And yes, but she countered, so that's a shame. But when it's my turn, I'm going to use Psionic Dominance to counter her as well. So back to my turn here, it's going to be interesting. This time, I see the caster might counter me, so I'm going to throw Neruna at her. And even with disadvantage, you see there's a high chance of hitting. So with 2 attacks, I am able to take off the caster. And Neruna is equipped on my main hand. Look at my arcane acuity. I have 9 stacks of arcane acuity, so basically I'll land any DC spell that I want. But before that, I have to attack with a melee weapon. So I'm going to use a main hand attack here. Just going to toggle off Great Weapon Master just to make sure I land. And we should get the bonus action. Yes, now we have the bonus action. Hold person, which is basically a guaranteed success. And now I'll toggle back, after using my action surge, toggle back Great Weapon Master, and just 100% critical hit the enemy. And as you can see, this is just a very flexible build that can throw, that can melee, and that can CC opponents. Oh yes, and let's not forget that if you have the Awakened buff, you can use Illithid powers with your bonus action. And this gives you a lot of further uses for your arcane acuity, which will stack like crazy. And a good example of this would be, for example, Mind Blast. As you can see here, the DC of 22 made it really hard for them to pass the save. And the fist right in front of me, which I attacked with a melee attack, had disadvantage and still rolled a 17, so maybe that helped. Also, if you're using scrolls, which I highly recommend, you can use like Auto's Irresistible Dance, which is a level 6 enchantment, and it just completely shuts down bosses. So you can also get Hold Monster as well. So really flexible, really amazing build. I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you for watching, fellow wizard, and may magic be with you.